There are men in that book, but I don't care about them. But the women, I'm here for them. Always. I'm always here for the woman. Hi everyone, I'm Hayley. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm getting back at all of the haters. You know, because so many people on my book talk video were like, do you even like reading? Of course I like reading. Obviously I just don't have the same taste as book talk. That's literally why I make book talk videos, because I find it so funny how much my tastes do not align with theirs. And if you've been here for a while, you would know that. Also just the fact that if I ever have any type of criticism to say at all ever, people would just assume you're hateful. Literature was made to be criticized. But anyway, because I'm weak, I will be bending over backwards to try and prove these haters wrong. And so this time, instead of doing a ranty video, which I know y'all love, instead of doing a ranty video, I'm going to be doing a loving one. I'm going to be talking about the book talk books that are worth it. The ones that I actually do like. Let's get into it. It's supposed to be positive, but came in a little lit, like it's a little bitter up in here. Let's start the video. Book talk books that I actually like. It's always just my opinion. Y'all took my opinion so personally. I don't understand it. Like, it's just my opinion. This one's for you. This series is one that I recently just finished, and I gotta say, book talk, you're a real one for this. And that is the Brown Sisters series by Talia Hibbert. I love this series. Rom-com following 3 different sisters, all with their own individual little quirks. Get a Life, Chloe Brown is the first one. I don't own that one. Take a Hint, Danny Brown is the second one. This one's actually my favorite. Act Your Eve Brown is the third one. I did really enjoy that one, but this one's my favorite because it's Guy Falls First and Guy Falls Hard. Friends to Lovers and Friends with Benefits to Lovers. It's so good. Also, it has one of my favorite tropes in romance, that is when one character is a workaholic and their love interest constantly comes in to take care of them, just to spend time with them, but also make sure they're not running themselves into the ground. I love it so much. Like, this book is amazing. There's also anxiety rep. So much good stuff. It's just so feel good. Like, this series is the perfect mix of serious emotional connection with some funny banter and just funny moments in general. And I'm glad that a popular romance series on Book Talk is by a Black woman. There's a lot of amazing representation in these books. It's nice to see some diversity being popular. Next up, I have Honey Girl by Morgan Rogers. This is one of my favorite books of all time. I just think this book is so perfect because it's about a Black woman and it's like a coming of age story, but she is in her 30s, so it's not your classic coming of age following a teenager. But that's why I love this book so much, because it tells you that there is no set path for anyone. Sometimes you just need to take time to figure things out for yourself and to heal, and that's okay. I like how this book challenges hustle culture and challenges the idea that you're only successful if you're working yourself to death, if you're working yourself into the ground. That's simply not true. Like, your mental health and your well-being is the most important thing, because without it, you literally cannot live. Like, success does not exist at all if you're not alive, like if you're working yourself too hard. And I like how this book really challenges those traditional Western ideas of success. There's just so much amazing mental health rep in this book, and I especially love to see a Black woman at the center of it all, because there's so much disregard for Black women in general, but especially when it comes to their mental well-being. Like, there is this whole idea that Black women are only ever allowed to be strong, like they're not allowed to show any other emotions. So I like, in this book, we get to see a Black woman be actually humanized, and that's why it's one of my favorite books of all time. I just love it so much. A lot of popular book talk books are romance books, and that's fine, but I just wish that the popular book talk books that are fantasy books, I wish I liked them. I have another romance book that is worth it, and that is The Kiss Quotient by Helen Hoang. This is also a series. It is a trilogy. The Kiss Quotient, The Bride Test, and The Heart Principle. And I love these books because there's just like the best little family in this book. Like, the banter is so good. This book also made me laugh. Like, Helen Hoang is hilarious. There's neurodivergence rep. All the main characters are on the autism spectrum. I've rated all of these books 5 stars, but the last one, I genuinely feel like that book was written for me because it talks so much about mental illness. Point of view you only see yourself represented in books because you're mentally ill. No, but it's perfect because it talks a lot about the main character's issues with perfectionism and OCD and just feeling the need to be perfect all the time, not just for herself, but also for her family. And I just love this series so much. Like, it's fun, but it also has these incredible moments of seriousness that remind you how precious life is and how important it is to take care of yourself. So this one in particular follows a young woman, Stella, who's never really had time to date. She's never had good luck with romance, and so she hires a male escort to help her learn sex and dating. And it's great. It's so cute. The thing about Helen Huang's books, I feel like The Bride Test and The Kiss Quotient, they're so quirky. Like, the storylines are kind of ridiculous. Also, same with Talia Hibbert's Brown Sisters series. Like, one of them is literally about how one of them almost dies, like almost gets hit by a car. And another one, like the sister, like she hits her love interest with a car. It's great. Like, I just love these quirky little romance books. They're just so fun and they're so cute. I love them so much. The smut is fire. Another book talk book that I absolutely love is It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. Small town romance, grumpy sunshine, high maintenance girl. It just hits the spot. It's the perfect quick summer read. The smut is amazing. The chemistry between the characters is undeniable. And I mean, there's just none. Like, what else can I say about it? I read it in a sitting. 5 stars. There's another one because it's a Bellinger Sisters series, and the second one is Hook, Line, and Sinker, and it follows the sister and then also the friend. Besties, best friends, lovers, fake dating, forced proximity because they're roommates, and then Mr. Man over here tries to help her flirt with her coworker because she has a little crush on him, and you know, Mr. Man gets a little jealous because maybe he likes her. I don't know, but anyway, these are great. I love the Bellinger sisters and I want Tessa Bailey to write more. And I don't know why she won't listen to me. It's starting to feel like a hate crime. Because why are there only 2? There should be at least 4. Add in some long lost Bellinger sisters for real. Just bring up 4 more. I find it realistic if they just washed ashore. You know, they're in a little fisherman town. Another popular book talk book that is absolutely amazing and that I love and that is absolutely worth it is Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. Christina Lauren has really crafted a beautiful story about childhood friends to estranged to second chance romance to lovers. It's emotional, it's sensual, the connection and the chemistry between these characters, perfect. The pacing of this book, perfect. I love it. It's like a little corny, but it's so cute. There's just something about childhood best friends to lovers, but you have to make it complicated. Like, it can't just be childhood best friends to lovers. It's childhood best friends to something crazy happens that tears them apart, and then they come back together years later, and it's like all that trauma is in the past, and then it's all emotional, and there's stuff going on with their families. There's all these old wounds that are reopening when they see each other again, but then it's that undeniable connection that they have that they just can't ignore. Childhood friends to lovers, excellence. And now we head into fantasy. Okay, so first up I have, you know, one of my all-time favorite series ever. That is An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. This is a quartet. There are 4 books. It is a high fantasy series. It deals with real world issues such as injustices and slavery and people facing racism. This series is actually kind of hard to explain. It's technically enemies to lovers, but not in the way that you would expect. And I'm not going to explain it because I could spend 30 minutes explaining this book, and I don't at this point. I don't know what's a spoiler and what's not a spoiler. Basically, this girl has to become a slave in order to rescue her brother who has been abducted, and she has to infiltrate this high security, toxic, dangerous empire where people are trying to kill people like her. She's a slave, but she's really there as a spy because she's trying to figure out what happened to her brother. And then there's this other guy who is working, like he's a part of the empire, but he doesn't want to be. Like, he's like, I'm not cut out for this life. I'm not meant to be evil. It's just an amazing series. Like, the politics are fantastic. Sabaa Tahir is an incredible storyteller. Literally never met anyone like her. I did meet her. I did. It was the best day of my life. If you're curious to know how, you should click the link in my description and go watch me on the Kelly Clarkson show. It was truly an experience, an amazing one. And so is this series. This series will put you through it. I'm so serious. I don't think I've ever cried harder than when I finished this series because, the emotional turmoil that I went through. It's something that I would never like to experience again, but I also want to, because that means I truly love the characters and the world and the series, and I just want that. I have not experienced that with a book since I finished this series a year and a half ago. All right, next up I have another young adult fantasy that is honestly the blueprint for enemies to lovers and YA fantasy, and that is the Folk of the Air series. I really enjoyed this series. I'm pretty sure I rated every book like 5. No, I didn't rate the last book 5 stars. Well, it's 5 stars for Jude. In my heart, 5 stars for Jude. Jude is like the baddest bitch alive. Murderous Woman, that's her. I love her. Everyone already has read this book, but this book is about fairies and a human living in the world of fae, and she is a baddie, and she's like, if I cannot be better than them, then I will be so much worse. And you know what? I appreciate that. I respect that. Jude is one of my favorite characters ever. She's just so cool. The political intrigue in this book is so exciting. I feel like a lot of people go into this book just for the romance. I didn't give a shit about the romance. I don't care about Carden. Enemies to lovers, yeah, it's good in this book, but I just don't care. The politics though, Jude's scheming, that's what I'm here for. And that's why I love this book. Everyone on TikTok is like, enemies to lovers excellence, which yeah, sure, whatever. The enemies, yeah. The lovers, I don't care. I could not have cared less about their romance. The plot though, I love that series. Okay, well, another book that I want to mention is The Hunger Games, because this is also popular on BookTok. It's popular everywhere. This is one of my favorite books of all time. It's the blueprint for literally every sci-fi fantasy ever. So Hunger Games, you will always be famous, and I love you, and thank you for everything that you've done for the book community. Suzanne Collins, you're an icon. Thank you for this series. Next up, don't mind the gap behind my head. I just pulled Circe down because this is also one of my favorite books of all time. You know, Greek mythology retelling about Circe, the lady, the witch on her lonely island. This book is beautiful. I just love an independent woman who plays men, kills men, harms men. She's not like the murderous woman, but you know, she does enough to men that I give her the title of violent, dangerous woman. I love Circe. If you like Greek mythology, then I'm sure you like this book, unless you're a sexist. I'm kidding. No, that was violent. I just love Circe because the prose, Madeline Miller tells a gorgeous story with her liquid gold prose. Exquisite. I mean, Circe isn't a plot-heavy book. It's literally just about her living on her island alone, trying to heal from all the terrible things that her family has done to her and taught her. And you see her meet a lot of people. You see her have a lot of amazing thoughts that really resonated with me. But I understand why some people don't like it. They're like, this feels like a faux feminist tale. Like all she does is sit there and then have sex with men. How dare you reduce this book to that? Because it is so much more than that. You know, that is why I have Ms. Girl facing out on my shelf, because I adore her. It's another one of my favorite books of all time. Crazy how a lot of people were like, you don't like any books. And then a lot of BookTok books are literally my favorite books. So I need y'all to respectfully shut the hell up. Anyway, The Priory of the Orange Tree. This big bitch, Samantha Shannon really did amazing things with this book. You got sapphics, murderous woman, amazing politics, and dragons. Incredible world building, lore. This book is what I am looking for when I'm looking for epic fantasies. Just how beautifully all the stories come together, and oh my god, the world building and the lore is something that is so special. Like Samantha Shannon, she is so big brained for this book. Her prose also so magnificent and beautiful. I just can't say enough good things about this book. Sapphics and murderous woman in politics. The Hayley trifecta of perfect fantasy books. There are men in that book, but I don't care about them. Like, I actually don't care about them so much that I don't remember what their names are. I don't even remember what they did. But the women, I'm here for them. Always. I'm always here for the women. Oh, I just have one more book. Last but not least, we have one of my favorite books of all time. How many times have I said that? How many favorite books do I have? A lot. When you read as many books as I do. Last but not least, we have Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I mean, come on. Magical heist, found family. These characters, I can't even decide between all of them who I love the most. I can tell you which one I hate the most, Matthias, but all the rest of them, I adore them. I adore this little crew. I adore this world that Leigh Bardugo has set up, even though I don't care about Shadow and Bone. I never will. But Six of Crows, on the other hand, beautiful masterpiece. You could not pay me to put this book down while I was reading it. And that heist? Inej, a baddie. Jesper, I love him. Kaz, he can murder me and I would murder for him. Wylan, adore him as well. Nina, adore her as well. Obsessed with her. Matthias, I literally hate him. Can't stand him. He honestly, I can't even talk about him, but this book, I love it so much. I know I don't need to promote this book or recommend it to anyone because everyone and their mother has read it already, but I just love it so much. I gotta, you know, thank my roots, because Six of Crows honestly is what helped me get back into my reading after like a 1.5 year long reading slump in high school. So thank you, Lee Bardugo, for your service. I don't need to give book talk any more time, so I'm stopping here. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Remember to like this video, comment down below, and subscribe to my channel, and let me know which book talk books are your favorite and your least favorite. We all know which book talk book is my least favorite. If you think you know what it is, or if you know what it is, comment it down below and I will give you a cookie if you get it right. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time with another video. Bye.